My name is DrRic Sigil.
And action. Hey, Jay, this is Kirk And action. Hey, everyone. It's Dr. Rick. I have a patient of mine, Jason, who has made great strides in reversing his diabetes. This kid has really done well. He took a disease process that he was just starting to develop in his 20s, and he turned it around. I have also other patients who are in their 50s with massive expression of the same disease process, only advanced, and it's almost impossible to get it turned around because they're too knee-deep into the problem and suffering. So, if this is the first time that you're seeing my videos, check out youtube.com/herbal411 for my other videos. I put them out all the time. So, Jason's question, though, was when to take protein, because he's doing his massive change all stems around decreasing total calories per day. He's doing a long fast, and the fast usually cuts back on the amount of protein that he eats, or anyone would eat. So if you have a guy that now introduces resistance training into the mix, that usually will make you hungry. So the question would be, how much protein is good protein, when to take it, and is that the cause of the hunger? Because if that's the only variable, I have to say yes. But if the exercise is done fasting, and I just came back from exercise, I probably won't eat for another 5 to 6 hours. So the studies out of McMaster University in Canada have said that you can actually push the fine-tuned athletes can push the protein content per day to about 2.4 grams per kilo per day, which is a ton of protein. I think the American standard in the American Dietetic Association is like 0.8, and that's from an old standard. I really think you're safe to do 1.2 grams per kilo, but anyway, we can use protein as a stimulant for protein synthesis in the body. So if you take extra protein in your diet or in nutrition, it can stimulate your body to build up new muscle if you give the right incentive, like exercise. So if you don't take any extra protein, that's okay. You might be able to still build up muscle, but I think you can build up muscle faster. So I would usually say, if you can get some protein in, great. Branched chain amino acids, BCAAs, are good. I wanted to show you mine. I am vegan at this point in time, but here is a list of the protein that's in this protein powder. It's vegan. But the most important to me the most important is leucine. And as far as how much leucine, the others are good too. There's something called essential amino acids. That means amino acids that we cannot make. There's 3 of them, but leucine I think is the most important. If you check out the work of David Sabatini out of MIT, good work. So leucine is important. I'd say 5 grams is pretty decent. It's tough to get 5 grams out of a supplement, so sometimes you want to supplement with whole food. This is organic tofu. Again, one of the best protein sources for vegetarians. You can do nutrition bars, but there is a little bit of chocolate in here, a little bit of a milk product, so if you're a vegan, you might break your veganism. Then the only problem with nutrition bars is they have to be palatable, and there's going to be carbohydrates in this too. So if you put the protein in, at the sacrifice of putting carbohydrates in, you might start an insulin response, which I don't want to get too deep into the weeds, but might thwart your efforts. So bottom line is, if you're exercising, you should take protein. If you're going to exercise and you're going to time your protein, try to do it within 30 minutes of your workout. Now for Jason, because he's fasting and his workout's during the middle of his fast, I'd say it's okay, because even if he works out and takes a protein supplement of some sort right after, within 30 minutes, it still puts him into a 10-hour fast, which is pretty decent enough. At least the animal studies show it. So protein, try to shoot for something with leucine. Try to shoot for 5 grams. Try to work out like a madman, or at least like an athlete. and don't go binging it later on in the day, because you just destroyed your protective effects of the use of protein. If you have animal versus plant, that's okay, it doesn't matter. You also have to, I say 30 minutes, because if you wait till later, the studies will show that leucine, because it has to be bound in the bloodstream, it goes away fast. So I think 30 minutes is easy, because you just worked out. You're probably going to drive home and you can remember to take your protein versus forgetting it later on and postponing even later. So I'd say within 30 minutes. Try not to mix it with too much carbohydrate. Also, eat a well-balanced meal later on as well. Take care of stress, because stress also negates protein. Protein stimulates mTOR. It's, again, not to get too deep into the weeds, mTOR is a mammalian target of rapamycin and supposedly does great things for building muscle. It's anabolic for building muscle. But if you take too much or you're too stressed out, you're just going to destroy that. So it can be catabolic for the whole body. So, again, I don't want to get, I'm going on to it too much here, but I think protein's important. 5 grams of leucine. Work out aggressively. Don't push too hard. Try to push muscle a little bit every time. Cycle up, go to your max, and then come down. And then in a couple more weeks, try a different form of exercise and hopefully get good rest as well. If you have all these building blocks, then you should be able to grow muscle. The more muscle you grow, the more mitochondria, little energy factories in the cell you have, and the more mitochondria you have, the more you can reverse diabetes even further. So again, this is all a lifestyle change, but there's little prescription things, tidbits of information you should know. But Jason is knocking it out of the park. We're just going to make sure that he hits every time a home run.